So I am on my way to De Pere Marquette Park to see Tom Barrett speak along with Bill Clinton. So
the President of the United States with a plan like 999. Sounds like a damn pizza special. But right now they're trying to eliminate our voice. They're trying to discredit us. They're trying to desensitize us, and they're trying to defund us. And we cannot let that happen. And this is all under disguise of shared sacrifice and our state being broke. But what did we see last year under shared sacrifice? $1.6 billion taken from public education. A 30% cut, you can say it louder than that, boom! A 30% cut in the tech college program. 12,000 women that used to go to Planned Parenthood, not for the woman's right to choose, but for basic health care, cut. Of course, we all know the attack on workers' rights and union rights and the middle-class citizens of our state. And voter registration, which I call voter suppression, but we can't keep going, we gotta go. We gotta recognize what this is, though, what shared sacrifice truly is under Governor Walker. It's more like we sacrifice and they share the wealth. The firefighters and police officers, and we all knew last year that he was trying to divide and conquer us. Now we know for a fact that's exactly what he was trying to do because we all saw the video. He's trying to divide and conquer us, and we cannot let that happen. That's why I'm running for lieutenant governor in this recall election. Our state back. Now we have 4 days left to go. 4 days left to go to get this thing right. 4 days left to go to bring back the state of Wisconsin. Now many people correlate this movement with the civil rights movement. But if there was one critique of the civil rights movement, is that they stopped taking it to the streets. They stopped organizing the sit-ins. They stopped doing the boycotts. And that's why we're here today, because we got to bring it back to the streets and let them know that we are watching.
So much for being with us this morning for a very, very special morning. And I couldn't be more charged up, and I can tell you couldn't be more charged up. But I gotta begin by telling you I had a little trouble sleeping last night. Scott Walker and I had a discussion last night. We were pointing out some of the problems that he's had in dealing with issues like making sure that the middle class is part of the solution and not as the enemy in this state. Because we have a governor who has done a wonderful job making the wealthiest people the happiest people. And my concern is for the middle class of this state and the people who want to join the middle class. Those are the people who need representation right now in the governor's office. Intent is to serve the people of this state. It is the people of this state that deserve to have a governor on their side. So what did we see? We've seen the largest cut to education in this state's history. We have seen the largest cut to this city in our history. And we've seen him give tax cuts in the billions to corporations and some of the wealthiest people in this state. We have to have our government represent us. That billionaire from Texas who gave him $500,000, he doesn't care about what's going on in Milwaukee or Racine or Manitowoc or Marshfield or La Crosse. They care about a national agenda, and they want Wisconsin to be the experimental lab. And we know that this governor has said that he was going to drop the bomb on the working people of this state. We know that this governor said that he was going to divide and conquer. Those are his words, not my words. And Scott Walker has divided this state like it's never been divided before. Where neighbors can't talk to neighbors. Where relatives can't talk to relatives because it's too bitter. Because of Scott Walker's Civil War. That's what happened. He intended that to happen. And here's my question. He has divided this state more than any governor in this history. But will we let him conquer this state? No! Will we let him conquer the middle class? Please join me in a warm Wisconsin welcome for President Bill Clinton.
And this is what I want to say to you. This is about what's best for you and your kids and your future, but it's also about America. You know, for 100 years now, people have looked to Wisconsin from all over this country to see a place of small towns and vibrant cities, to see a place of farmers and factory workers and small business people, to see a place where there were vigorous political debates, closely held elections, and then people got together and figured out what the heck to do. And now they look at Wisconsin and they see America's battleground between people who want to work together to solve problems and people who want to divide and conquer. People who know that creative cooperation is working in America and people who want constant conflict. And here's what I want to tell you. Tom was kind enough to say this in his introduction. I think I know a little bit about what would bring America back, what would bring economic recovery, what would enable us to have broadly shared prosperity. And I'll tell you, if you go anywhere in America today, believe it or not, there are a lot of places that are already back. And they all have one thing in common. They're dramatically different, but they all have one thing in common. They are involved in creative cooperation, not constant conflict. In Chicago, when Rahm Emanuel left the president's office and went home and became mayor of Chicago, and he realized that the Republicans were not going to pass the infrastructure bank, which allows private and public capital to put America back to work, to modernize our country, he created one in Chicago. And I went there for the announcement. There were Democrats and Republicans, and the Republicans thought Washington was nuts for not passing what used to be a bipartisan bill. Why? Because the same Tea Party philosophy of the far right that has dominated Wisconsin politics for the last since the 2010 election is dominating there. So they worked with the mayor of Chicago. In Jacksonville, a young man who worked for me and worked for Hillary, Alvin Brown, is now the mayor of Jacksonville, an African American. And I went there to his economic conference, and every Republican businessman and banker in town was there saying this is the only guy that ever got us together. Business, labor, government, and we're going to rebuild this city and take it to new heights.
Therefore, I think it's a perfect recall election.
Thank you.